Failure and new beginnings. What exactly do I mean by that? Well, that's what this video's about. But first, I've been gone for a while. I mean, my face, has been gone from this channel for a while. If you've noticed that my content has been pretty sparse of having me in it, and the videos that have had me in it over the course of the past 2 weeks have been recorded, like a decent amount of time ago. The last time I recorded a video, edited it, and posted it the next day with my face in it was the video announcing my charity campaign that I'm still doing, by the way, for Stand Up to Cancer. I'll get to me saying I'm still doing it and why that's important in a second. It relates to the whole failure and new beginnings thing. But, yeah, so I've been gone for a while because these past 2 weeks I've been pretty busy and also figuring some stuff out. So I just kind of didn't want to talk to a camera like this, and so I didn't. But I'm back now. I don't know if I'll be doing this on the regular, probably, because I do want to make more videos like this. But I did want to make a video to kind of cap off this year, especially since it feels like I had a lot of failures this year. Because I most certainly did, and that's the first half of the title of this video. The second half has a lot to do with how I feel about things going forward. But first, let's talk about the failure part. So I don't know if you remember the whole 3 different videos I made in October. The first one was like spur of the moment video where I talked about how I was going to have a new direction for the channel and do this whole charity thing, be a part of this whole charity thing that MatPat was doing, and I was very excited to do that, and I did plan on doing that. And then I made a whole advertisement type video where I don't think it was very well made necessarily, but it was I put way more effort into it than it looks like I did, because I'm just bad at talking, and I wanted to do a lot of it in like a single take, and I didn't want to cut it up too much, so I did certain sections of it in single takes, except in order to get a good single take I had to say it like 100 times. So that video was like way more difficult to make than it should have been. Both of those things were both like part of being a part of the MatPat charity event. And then I completely went 180, like the day after I released that advertisement video. Well, not 180, but like I realized that I had the potential to do something on my own that would be a huge charity contribution. I don't know why I still wouldn't have just done it as part of the game theory event, but a part of me, and I've mentioned this on the channel before, a part of me just doesn't want to, a part of me doesn't want to get involved with something that makes me feel like I'm riding, any success I'm having is riding on the back of someone who's already successful, I guess, which is kind of dumb because that's part of becoming successful. Like you kind of use as much of that stuff as you can to get your name out there. So it's kind of dumb for me to think that way. But there's nothing wrong with it, but it devalues it for me, where it feels like if people donate to me because I'm doing something that's part of game theory, then I feel like there's a part of me that feels like, or a pretty big part of me that feels like they're only donating to me or through my event because the game theory event is happening, and they would just donate their money somewhere else, like to a different person involved with the game theory event. So why should I try and join it? Now, if I had more influence, my mentality would be different, because then I would actually believe that there were people who saw my content that didn't know about this game theory event that was happening. But out of the 28 of you who are here, because I have hit 28 subscribers now, most of you probably know who MatPat is, and I know that because I know a lot of you. I know who a lot of you are, and I know that to some extent you at least know that. And if you were going to donate to a charity campaign, it would probably be one that he did and not one that I did, just because the ones that he does are so much more organized, and there's so many more people, that such higher quality like events. So I guess I feel like I don't want to ride on the back of that to get people to start looking at me more. That's kind of what a part of me thinks of it as, which is why like I backed out of doing the game theory event, and I wanted to separate myself from it but have my own super large charity event. which I'm going to have to make a whole video at some point about that charity event that I had planned on doing, with the goal being set at $50,000, and I still believe we could have done it. The project grew. I got 11 people agreeing to be a part of it, and I had more that I was going to ask, and it was probably going to get up to closer to 15 or 16 people, and we were going to have a big plan to like get people together for only 2 days, possibly 3, for those who could, and create 2 weeks of video content out of it, and a live stream at the end of it for the third and final day / second and final day, depending upon who could make it to the one of those days, where we did like a 12-hour live stream, and over the course of the 2 weeks, the goal would be to reach $50,000. And there was going to be so much promotion, like that's what a lot of the effort was going to be put into, was promoting the event so that we could get people in. And I know some people who have so much more influence than I do online, and so it was going to be a thing where I felt like through me all these people could come together and do some really good stuff. And that idea was there, and it was supposed to begin being promoted on like October 15th, I think, because that was when the event was going to start. The event, or maybe it was the 30th, I honestly don't remember exactly. Let me check real quick, because it's an unposted video that's going to tell me. I have to go to the next page. There it is. This was uploaded, yeah, on October 15th. October 15th was that was the day we were going to, I was going to publicly announce this thing. I had a name picked out, like it was beginning to be organized. The event was organized enough to announce it, and that was the whole thing, right? It was going to be ready by October 15th to be set in stone for November 15th to be the first video release of the 2-week period, and it would end with a live stream the day before MatPat's live stream, because I wouldn't want to be overshadowed by his event, which would have probably happened anyways, but that was the plan, right? From the 15th to the 29th would be the video releases, and we would have met up on like the 13th, November 13th, to record a whole bunch of stuff to turn into these 12 videos, and we were in the process, not 12, 13, no, it was 12 videos, because it's 13 days. And so the whole thing was basically that this was going to be a process that was in the works, being planned out, and we had about a month to plan it. And it was shut down. The idea was shut down as quickly as it showed up. I mean, we were in pre-planning, basically, before we got really into the nitty-gritty of planning. We were in pre-planning for about a week and a half. By the end of that, I had 11 people that were, like, saying they didn't know 100% if they could show up for all the dates, but that they wanted to be a part of it. And it came crashing to a halt on October 15th, the day I was supposed to announce it. And again, that's a whole story of its own. The story of the creating and then failure of that charity campaign before it even began, before it was even truly announced, is a whole topic for a whole nother video that I would love to talk about at some point in retrospect, once I've learned some more about charity campaign stuff and I can actually see more of where I went wrong and why it failed so horribly. So that was a pretty big failure. Before that, in the year, I had felt like I had some minor failures. Like, I didn't upload for like 2 months. Let me just scroll down here real quick. Yeah, 2 months later, I'm back. I posted that on July 2nd, and I posted a video on July 3rd because I was trying to do daily content. July 8th, then it jumps to the next month. Again, I was gone for a month. So there was just a period, like, over the summer where my brother was home and I was spending time with him, and so I really started to forget about making content, and I wasn't really making it at all. And that was honestly happening before this. There were several periods, like 2 or 3 periods this year where I just didn't upload for a month. I only uploaded videos for like 3/4 of this month because of that. And there was still a whole bunch of space, because then after I got back into the groove of making things and I started to make a whole bunch of Dead Space content, which is what I have pulled up on my screen right now, once that started to happen, I felt like I'd gotten past the failure of just neglecting the channel, because I know it's something that I really want to do. That's when MatPat's charity thing came out, and I was excited to do that after I had made a few Dead Space videos. I had actually had a pretty consistent schedule for a while, starting with part 2. Did I actually release those 3 days apart? No, but pretty close. I think I started out with 1 episode a week, and then and then after 3 episodes, I went to episode 2 days off, an episode 2 days off of Dead Space, and I kept that schedule for the better part of a month. Almost, no, I did keep that schedule for basically a full month. And then in the middle of that, towards the end, in between some of the last 2 episodes, is when I made the spontaneous video about joining the fight against cancer with MatPat. Then I made the advertisement, and then while that was happening, the charity campaign that I was going to do sprouted up and went to a colossal failure, which made me that really affected me poorly. I don't think I talked about it a lot on the channel. Maybe I did in that next video that came out 2 weeks later after the planned video was supposed to release on October 15th. Like, I spent 2 weeks leading up to this announcement video for this charity event, because October 5th was when I made the advertisement type video that I was making called Join the War on Cancer. Then I went silent for 2 weeks because I was working on this other charity event, and I thought it was going to be really cool. Like, don't have to worry about the fact that I wasn't a part of the other charity event I was going to be, because I'm doing something bigger. It's being replaced by something bigger. But then that fell apart, and it took me till the 26th, 11 days later, to post an update video, because I just didn't want to. Like, I was in... It messed me up for a little bit. Like, it was seriously a very big failure in my mind, and I was very upset by it. So then I started to make some content about Halo, because then Halo was getting closer to coming out, so that's when that started to happen. I'm just literally doing a review of my channel of this year. I made a little bit more Dead Space content. That was on the 27th. I think that's when I decided I was going to make daily content for a little bit, and yeah, I did. I made daily content, and then I said I was going to do the October 31st Dead Space stream, and then I worked a double shift for my work that day, again, adding to the charity aspect, like me feeling like a failure when it comes to charity stuff, because I was just like, screw everything, I can't do a group charity project, I'm just going to do one on my own, the one that I planned to do like a year ago, which was play Dead Space on October 31st, beat the entire game. It obviously didn't happen, and I did feel pretty upset about that, but I also didn't beat myself up over it too much, because the place that I'm working at really needed the help. And so I just decided to stay there, because to a certain extent it kind of felt like that would do more. I would be the only person donating to charity on my own charity live stream. I could just donate the money and stay at work. I mean, I would make more money than what I would be able to donate otherwise. So honestly, like, I would just... making money that I could later donate would do more for me than trying to encourage other people to donate. It would do more for, not for me, but for charity in the long run. So from the charity perspective, it was almost like it would be more of a failure for me to not have gone to work, because I understand how unpopular my channel is. Then I disappeared for a while, and I began working on my Unus Annus tribute video for a year of it being deleted, which was really important to me. And I think that's okay. It only has 13 views. It didn't do nearly as good as my original Unus Annus tribute video that I made before the channel got deleted, which is fine. I don't think it deserves any more than that, if I'm going to be completely honest. Because I hate that video. I'm going to be honest, by the time I was done making it, I hated it. I also, like, I don't think my voice is at all fit for the song that I was trying to sing. I just did it because I felt like the original lyrics were easily changeable, and it was like, there were some interesting, I guess, ways that I could maintain the original lyrics, but also only slightly change the original lyrics to what, like, I was trying to say with it. And so I did enjoy doing that. I enjoyed writing the lyrics for it, but the actual making of it, again, by the time it was done, it kind of made me feel like a failure. I don't think that I actually failed with that video. I think I did the best that I could with it, but it really, by my opinion, isn't good. It just isn't. Not to self-deprecate too much, but it wasn't as good as I wanted it to be. That's for sure. It most certainly wasn't, and I think maybe I wasn't capable of making something as good as I wanted to make for this anniversary of Unus Annus. I don't think I I don't think at all that I could have made something that as good as I wanted to, and so maybe I was destined to be disappointed in my work regardless. But on that same day, I posted a video making a promise that I was going to upload a video every single day for the next year until November 14th of next year. And I haven't failed that. Not yet. And I don't plan to. I won't. Because I still want to keep to that promise. In fact, I'm actually really enjoying making a video every single day, even though sometimes it really sucks because I'm up till 6 a.m. after I get home from work at like anywhere from 12 a.m. to 2 a.m. in the morning, depending upon when we close the store that I'm working at. And I live, again, an hour and a half away, so it sucks in that respect. And then I get home and I have to make a video for the next day because I'm procrastinating or something. Like that's really messed with my sleep schedule, but that's honestly more of my work schedule's fault than it is my YouTube schedule's fault, because if I just had a normal work schedule, it would be much easier for me to get normal and decent hours of sleep. So honestly, that's not even because of me making a video every single day. But I did, in fact, make a video every single day. I'm proud of that. It's only been a month and a half, right? So I can't really say that much. I really can't. But that is an eighth of the way through a year. So I'm very glad that I have done it for an eighth of a year. And I mean, that's a good spot to be, right? Because I just have to do what I've already done again, and then I'm a whole fourth of the way through. I do that again one more time, and then I'm a half of the way through, and I do that one more time, and boom, there's a full year. It's a really simple way to think about it, but it's a work ethic type thought process that I have a lot. That what I just described. Some of these videos that I've made, that I've posted every single day, were real cop-out videos. Like, especially the Unus Annus memory videos. I honestly regret making those. I'm not going to take them down, because, well, unless Mark and Ethan were to find them somehow and say that they were violating their request to not re-upload Unus Annus content, because I don't think it is. Like, I think that because, again, and I've mentioned this before, and it's true, I tried to keep my Unus Annus memory videos as something that would only be truly enjoyable and understandable to the people who watched Unus Annus, not to just anyone who clicks on the video, right? But if I failed at that, I will take the videos down, because it is not the intention for me to re-upload Unus Annus content at all. And honestly, the first one, Unus Annus memory, wasn't that bad, because I feel like I actually made a decent edit, like small edit out of it, like not at all anything hard. But yeah, the ones after that especially, I do regret making. They were exactly what they look like they were. They were cop-out videos for me to make on a day where I really, really didn't feel like making a video, but I needed to get a video up to keep my promise. That's exactly what it was. And so, as you've noticed, I haven't posted those since late November, so it's been over a month, actually, since the last time I posted one, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. Because after the third one that I posted, I realized that it was so cheap to be, basically, to a certain point, I realized, and it felt like to me, that I was using this channel that had truly inspired me to just cop something out for one of the days that I was feeling lazy. And that felt really awful to me. So I guess another failure there. But besides that, I really haven't had too many cop-out videos since then. I have, definitely have, but it's been Halo content, which I'm fine with doing, because at least then I'm doing something slightly original, right? It's all stuff that's been seen before on the internet, but at least it's something from my perspective, like a multiplayer moment from my perspective that I was a part of, that I actually had to take a little bit of time to make. So I'm not really ashamed of the cop-out videos. I'm not at all ashamed of the cop-out videos that I've made. There are some that are a little bit iffy, like the Bassus Beatdown Battle, Fusion Coil Fun with Chaklock. Those were straight up just recordings unedited from my campaign playthrough put into YouTube. But I'm not too... Again, I don't feel ashamed about that, though, because it's, at least from my perspective, it's my playthrough of a game that is not mine, but it is my playthrough of a game, and at least that way I know that I'm not just reusing old content to get by another day. It's still not great. It's still not some of my best content, even remotely. But I mean, I've been very busy, so I am not ashamed of those videos that I've made. A lot of the other Halo content I've made, it's been so-so. Like, some of it has been, it's been all over the place, because that's what I've been making, basically, for a lot of the last month and a half. Some of it has been pretty fairly original, some of it has been decent highlight clips that use copyrighted music, so, you know, I have to deduct points there for myself. But for the most part, it's been pretty good. And after a month of just uploading videos and realizing that I can actually make a video every single day, there are a lot of them are just going to be short little edits, but I can actually do it. After a month of doing that, I finally decided to take another actual shot at charity, but one that I know I can do. I don't know if I'll reach my goal. It's okay if I don't, right? Because I have to accept that going into it to actually commit to a charity event, because that's part of the reason why the big $50,000 one failed, because I decided it was going to fail at its goal at a certain point before the true planning even began, and because of that, I chickened out. That was not at all the only reason why it failed, but it was a reason, right? And so I know that going into this, I have to be fully prepared for the realistic fact that it is pretty possible, pretty likely actually, that I'm not going to reach a $10,000 goal, even over the course of a year, unless something shifts in my channel, which it might. And I would really love to raise that goal if we meet it, because I will. If I don't think, I want a challenging goal. I don't want a goal that is so easy to reach. So if my channel begins to grow significantly over the course of the next year, and I see that it is going to be not that challenging for me to hit a 10,000 goal before and again, there's not like a specific time limit. It's not even like a year. It's like when I beat the Halo campaigns on Legendary without dying once. Whenever I can do that, by that time, I want to have reached the goal, the $10,000 goal or more, if I think that it's possible to reach more. Again, I kind of like this approach to a charity event for myself, because it's not writing on the back of anything else. It's completely separate from any other charity event, except I might have the freedom to add it into other charity events in the future if I feel like it is contributing enough. I might shift focus, say, hey, don't worry about my campaign, go donate to this campaign. Like, I'll link up my endeavors with this campaign instead, because I want to help grow money for this campaign. Again, if I feel like I can help grow a campaign, and not the way I feel right now. If I were to join one of those right now, which is that the campaign would help grow me, basically, is how I feel right now. If I reach that point, then I would do that. But otherwise, I have the freedom to just, over a long course of time, slowly build up momentum for this charity campaign and slowly raise a lot of money. It's going to take a while, but it will eventually happen. And it's going to be while I'm just having fun playing Halo, one of my favorite it's my favorite game franchise I've ever played, hands down. Not every single game is like the best game I've ever played. Some of them are pretty lackluster, but as a whole, when I look at it as a franchise, Halo is my favorite video game franchise out there. And it was also my introduction to video games. So if I'm going to play video games to try and raise money for charity, I don't know why I would do it any other way besides playing Halo. And playing Halo over the very long course of time, doing something that's going to be ridiculously challenging. I am still excited to continue doing that. I know I haven't done a live stream in almost 2 weeks. I started the charity campaign. The next day I did the first live stream to kick it off. And then I kind of disappeared for like 2 weeks in that sense. That's because a lot's been going on. But there will probably be gaps of a month in the future. Like, who knows what's going to happen in my life. There will probably be gaps of like a full month where I don't stream, don't like promote the campaign, the charity campaign that I'm doing or whatever. But that doesn't mean it's dead. Like, I'm going to come back. I am going to continue to captain the ship, I guess, that is this charity campaign, even if the ship has to stay docked for a little bit. It's a kind of a weird analogy, but basically that's all I'm saying. That's the freedom that I want with this charity campaign, is the freedom to do that kind of stuff, to relax for a bit and take my time with it, so that I'm not constantly trying to push myself to a deadline or something like that with this charity campaign, because that's what I've done in the past with charity campaigns, and every single time it has failed. So I'm trying something different, and I'm excited for this one, and I feel like it gives me time to actually get some traction with it, and with a eventual but indeterminate deadline, eventually I can crank up the pressure once I think I'm capable of doing that. I guess that's the point. That's the freedom that I have with this charity campaign. And so it's a new beginning. It is, I'm trying something very different from what I've tried in the past, because what I've tried in the past has failed every time. I'm trying something very different, and I'm excited to see where it goes. And also, I'm still uploading a video every single day. This one being uploaded on December 31st. I'm recording this. It's currently 1:26 a.m. Like I said, this is normal for me. And it's probably going to take me a while to edit this video. I might be up till like 4 a.m. in the morning or later today, because I'm rambling on a lot longer than I thought I would. But I honestly want all of this to be in the video. Just because there's a lot to talk about. I haven't shown my face. I haven't made an update in a while. There isn't really much more to update besides that. Like, there's not more for me to update about the future of the channel. It's staying the course. It's uploading a video every day and doing this charity campaign. That's it. It's just doing it is the thing. There's not really much update in that way. I just wanted to kind of reflect on this year. I think that 2021 overall has just been a weird year for a lot of people. I think that 2020, we were all ready for that year to be over, and I personally think that 2021 has been better. I do think that it has. I've heard a lot of people online say that every single year just gets worse, and that I've like seen memes where it says this year is the worst year of this century or something like that, and the meme being that it's like everybody says, it's like people say that every single year. So I know that a lot of people have been saying that this year. Again, me personally, I disagree. This year has been rough, but it hasn't been bad overall. I don't think it has. I really don't think it has. I think that there has been a lot of ups and a lot of downs this year, but I think that overall there have been a lot more ups than there were in 2020, like a lot more, and a lot less downs, or at least a lot less severe downs. I think that 2020 was a lot worse than this year. I think that this year could have been a lot worse than it was. And I'm glad that it wasn't. And I'm looking forward to next year, because I think we can continue to climb that hill and make next year a little bit better than this year. I think that that's really all we can hope for, realistically speaking. Just make things a little bit better one step at a time. Especially when you're talking about worldwide issues. I mean, like COVID, there's only so much you can do day by day. It's a slow process. I'm not really big on New Year's resolutions. I'm not doing one. For this upcoming year of my channel, I'm not doing a New Year resolution. I know that a lot of people are, and that's perfectly fine. If it works for you for whatever you're doing it for, I hope that it does. But the reason why I'm not doing a New Year resolution for the date, December 31st and January 1st, like for the rolling over of a calendar to a new year, is because, well, one, I don't really care for that stuff much, because between December 31st and January 1st, nothing changes. It's just another day. It's January 1st is just the day after December 31st. Yes, there might be a digit added to the year counter, but really it's no different than the rolling over from December 30th to December 31st, or May 20th to May 21st. There really isn't a difference between all of those. It's just how we perceive it. And how I personally perceive it, a particular rolling over date was very, very important to me this year, that I've already made promises that I have kept so far and will continue to keep. And that's November 14th for me. That's what that day is. That is the day that I made my New Year resolution, or more accurately, my Unus Annus resolution, to upload a video to this channel every single day for the next year. And I kind of made it on a whim. And a part of me immediately regretted saying that, because I was like, I have no clue what I'm getting myself into. But now that I'm a month and a half in, I don't regret it at all. I mean, I'm enjoying making a video every single day, and I'm glad that I said that, because I need that push. I need that push of holding myself accountable to something, and feeling like if I don't, I'm going to be an absolute failure. Not because anyone's counting on this, but because I'm counting on this, because this is something that I have told myself I'm going to do, and so I have to hold myself to that standard. And that's the only reason why I'm doing it. Not the only reason why I'm making YouTube videos, but the only reason why I have that push, that extra push that makes me stay up till 6 a.m. making a video. It's because I want to keep a promise to myself. The reason why I make videos is because I enjoy making videos, and that's just a fact. And that is something that I have confirmed and cemented for myself over the course of the past month and a half. Making them every day has made me realize that I truly do enjoy making videos. There were times where I highly doubted that, because I would spend hours and hours editing Dead Space videos where it felt like it was the last thing I wanted to do. And I can't count how many of these videos that I've made over the course of the past month and a half that have felt like the last thing I want to do. But I still enjoy the entire process, especially looking back on it like retrospectively. I know that I'm proud of doing this, even though it's something that's really honestly simple, and a lot of these videos are so easy to make, because I'm making a lot of cop-out videos. And a lot of these videos, not a lot of them, but some of them are just so easy to make. And some of them more work goes into that you realize, and some of them less work goes into than you realize. Like, some of the easiest videos I've made over the course of the past 2 weeks have been my first time playing Halo Infinite's campaign videos, which are 30 and 40 minutes long respectively. They have had less work put into them than something like my dissatisfaction video, which is 29 seconds long, which really doesn't have that much work at all, or my advanced movement video. Like, a lot of my videos over the past few days have had more work put into them than some of the 30 and 40 minute long videos that I posted about my Halo Infinite campaign, because they took a long time to upload, but I just watched them once. Like, made sure there wasn't anything too boring that I needed to cut out, like absolutely abhorrently boring, or something like me being annoying or something like that, I guess. That's really all I did, and make sure there wasn't glitches or something like that in the recording. That I just looked for that, and then once I realized that there wasn't, or I cut it to the length that I liked, I just uploaded it to YouTube. It really didn't take long at all. I didn't even chop up the videos. They are basically uncut. And that's really what saved a lot of time in making them. And the Infinite multiplayer highlights take me longer to make than those, because I go through like 3-4 hours of footage sometimes to find some of the clips for the multiplayer highlight videos that I make. So, again, that kind of puts in perspective, some of these videos barely have any work put into them, and some of them have a lot more than you think put into them. But, regardless, I'm proud of it all. Or at the very least, I'm not ashamed of any of it. That's for sure. And I'm very glad I'm doing this. I'm excited to see where 2022 goes. I'm excited to say that it's 2022. Time keeps moving, and it really does feel like this year has gone by fast, but I think that's because I really think about this year as like half of the length of what it actually was, because my life completely shifted halfway through this year, because I graduated high school. And so the first half of this year for me feels like it was a completely different part of my life. It feels so disconnected from this year, even though it is a part of this year. It is a part of the cyclical year of 2021. And I'll probably talk about more of what was going on then, maybe during the last half of my senior year of high school at some point. I'll make more vlogs. But it really just felt like that was a whole different part of my life, and my life changed a lot over the course of the summer leading into the second half of the year. It's been strange. And I've just been working for the past 8 or 9, well, going on 9 months now, I think. I've just been working a job. I haven't been in college, not yet. I'm going to be going to online school pretty soon here, so next year's going to be different for me too. But hey, change isn't a bad thing. You just got to keep up with it and roll with the punches, and you'll do fine. I hope that you're looking forward to 2022. This video's a pretty long one, but I appreciate you for checking it out. And goodbye 2021. I don't think I'll miss 2021. It was a good year, but I don't think I'll miss it. I don't think I'll look back and think, man, I wish I could go back to the year 2021. I don't think I'll do that. I don't think I ever will. But it was a good year. I think looking at it from an optimistic perspective as opposed to a pessimistic one, I think I can say for me, it was a good year. Not great. And there were some really bad parts, but it was a good year.